Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video I am doing my pits and peaks of the week. So in this video I will talk about what didn't go so well being my pits for the week and what did go better this week being my peaks for the week. Just to sort of address the elephant in the room, I am not dressed in my usual attire. It's turned very Baltic here in the UK and summer has officially gone. It's been pissing it down pretty much every day and I've resorted to getting my hoodie back out. So got my little cat hoodie on and didn't feel like having to change out of it and freeze for a bit during the video, so you get what you see basically. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to my pits and peaks for the week. Try not to be too distracted by my hoodie. So we'll do pits first and then we'll end on a high with the peaks. So I'll get into what pits I had this week. So my first pit, I mentioned it in my last video, and that was that I have had an issue with my shoulder and my neck. I did have an issue like this previously, but it was in the other shoulder, so I'm not sure really whether I should count it as being like a reoccurring issue. But basically on, I think it was Wednesday morning, I'd got out of bed and I went to do a stretch overhead, just put my arms above my head to do a stretch, and something in my right shoulder sort of popped or clicked. And it was very painful after that. Anytime I sort of moved my arm or shoulder or neck or head even, I would get like quite a sharp pain in my sort of lower lat, I would say. So yeah, that has been pretty bad for that like first couple of days. So obviously I didn't do any exercise at that point. It has eased off over the last couple of days, but not to the point where I'd feel comfortable doing like weights or anything. I did think about doing a run, but I've just not got round to it. So yeah. So I've just taken the extra rest in order to sort of help it recover. I should probably get it seen, but because it's on the other shoulder, I'm not sure whether it's just something else that I've done. Maybe my lat was tight and it just sort of, you know, it had a bit of a ping. So I'll see how I get on. If it does keep happening with either shoulder, then I will get it checked out. But for now, I've just let it rest, and hopefully I will be back to training next week. So that's been a bit of a bummer this week. I had hoped to get at least another run and another gym session. I have done one run and one gym session this week, and that was before I had the shoulder issue. So yeah, not ideal, but there's nothing I can really do about it at the moment. So that is my first pit. My second pit this week has been trying to get around me shifting my calories slightly. I will leave a screenshot here. I'm going to look at my phone while I talk about it so that I know exactly what I'm sort of showing on screen to you guys. But I changed my calories, so I won't use last week as an example because I was quite over my calories last week, so we'll use the week before. But basically I will show a screenshot here of the week commencing 13th of September, and you'll see that I have my calories set to 1800. Now my aim is to eat at about 1600 or less if I can. So the idea being last week was that I just shifted those calories down to my actual goal rather than having extra calories that would tempt me to overeat. So I'm showing you week commencing 13th. That was where I was eating at roughly around 1600 calories, sometimes less. So what I've done, also with that, my net calories is around like 130 to 200. So that was sort of how many calories I'm under versus my Nutri-Trek calorie goal. Now that I've changed it to 1600 rather than 1800, even though I'm still under my calories, so I've been eating under 1600 calories bar 2 days this week. So I'll show another screenshot here of my sort of week view for this week. My calories is set to 1600 here, but because the net calories is a lower number, I feel like I'm not doing it as well, even though I'm eating the same if not less calories than I was doing last week or the week before. So it's sort of been a bit of a mind if you will, in trying to realise that I am still doing well on the calories that I'm on, even though it's a lesser number. Towards the end of the week I've sort of got used to it, but at the beginning of the week I just really felt like I wasn't on track at all, even though I was. So that's been a bit weird this week. And other than that, I think that's it for Pits. So we will move on to peaks next. So the first peak is that I've only had one day off track this week. I know I have 2 X's on the screenshot for NutriCheck, but because the other day was like 50 calories, I'm not really counting that as being an off track day. And even the one day that I was more off track, it was only by 100 calories, so I'm not really too bothered about that. So compared to last week's calories, I have done really well this week, so that is my first peak. My second peak is when I did my run at the beginning of the week. I went running on Monday. I managed to get 30 minutes running and I am super pleased with that. Every single time I go out for a run I seem to be beating my last time, so I'm really pleased with that. It's not 5k yet, but in the next couple of runs I would imagine I'll be able to get that 5k, so yeah, I'm really pleased with how things are progressing. I have entered the London Marathon again for next year. It'll be my 8th time doing it. I will say I have absolutely no desire to run long distances. It's just not me. I think half marathons are really my limit, but the London Marathon has been on my bucket list since I was young. So, and that's sort of increased every time that I've been running since. Obviously I've been running since about 2013. And just sort of watching it on TV, I've always wanted to experience the atmosphere. So yeah, although I am probably going to hate running a marathon, I only really want to do one, and that is London. So as soon as I've got that out of the way, ticked it off my bucket list, I imagine I will never run a marathon again. Long distance is just not my thing. So yeah, I guess that's a bit of excitement for this month, but other than that I don't think I've got anything else to say. So I'm going to wrap it up here and say, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can always click the notification bell down below and you'll be notified of when my videos go live. Other than that, I hope you're all staying safe and well. I hope you all have a good weekend, whenever it is that you're watching this, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye.